Hi again and welcome to Module 8. In this module we are going to learn about file inputs and outputs. Really this is about how do you open an existing file, how do you read it, how do you edit it, and how do you close out of it once you're done working with it. In programming terms we call this file input output, or for short we call it file I/O. So that's what this module is going to focus on. Again, your list of objectives are here. We're going to be introduced to the concepts of file inputs and outputs. You're going to practice opening files. We are going to learn about file path logic and syntax. Now this is going to be something you're going to be introduced to several times over the semester. And remember, as I've always been saying, repetition is key. So you'll see lots of things repeated throughout the semester. You're going to learn about reading files, what it means to seek inside of a file, how to write to existing files, how to get Python to tell you where the cursor is sitting within an existing file. And finally, we're going to close out the module with learning how to close a file. So the learning resources that you need for this particular module are, again, this Canvas site and your textbook, and go ahead and create a Module 8 folder. And we'll just go introduce each of the pages here. The first page here for 8.1, you are going to learn about file inputs and outputs and how to work with them. And you've learned two ways already. Yeah, you might not have recognized it, but you're going to circle back to both print and input in this particular module. Before you move on to anything, most of this module is focused on this text file right here. You just need to click on this and save it. You need to save it into your Module 8 folder, because when you go to practice with the file path names, you're going to need to know where on your computer, that entire string starting with the drive letter, where that text file is sitting. So the first one here is you're going to learn how to open a file using the open function. You are going to learn how to decipher the syntax of the open function. Syntax is going to be incredibly important as we move throughout the semester. You're going to learn here, you've been learning about the syntax of Python methods and functions, and then we're going to transition into learning about the syntax of GIS functions and how they work within ArcPy, which is the Python module that's built to do our GIS functions. So pay close attention here to all of the different things in each of the syntax statements that you get on this page. And you need to go back to the basics just a little bit. We're going to review quotation marks, and we're going to also review path files and the forward and backward slashes that we have learned about earlier. So your activity for this particular landing page is to go and read chapter 4.19. That's going to have the author remind you a little bit more about working with pathways. So that's a good reminder right there. All right, we're going to go back here then, and you are going to learn how to open file, the concept of open file and the fact that it's just a variable. So this is learning some coding best practices about how do we open files. We can't just open them, we have to place them somewhere, and where we place them is into a variable. And oftentimes there are just common terms that are used for variables that you'll see. But again, remember, no magic to a variable name. It could be anything. It could be tacos. But for right now, it's going to be open file. But if you really want to replace open file with tacos, you can. You just have to remember to repeat tacos as you go through your script. All right, then the next thing you're going to do is you're going to play with that text file you just downloaded. You're going to open it, and you're going to get screenshots of what you need to type into Python shell in order to do that. After you do that, you're going to see what it looks like to seek and find within a text file. So in the last example there, you're gonna end at a place where you might not know how to move forward, but 8.2 tells you how to move forward once you've gotten to the end of a file, and it's with our friend seek. Here you get into the syntax of seek and some examples of using seek, and then you're going to get into your text file that you just downloaded and read out to yourself, and you're going to seek around inside of that file and place that cursor wherever you want it to be in the file. All right, pay close attention to the things that are highlighted. Specifically this one at the bottom of this page, you need to make sure you have your cursor sitting in this location in order for the next part to work. So we're going to learn here, and we're going to learn about tell, read line, read lines, write, and close. And this page here is going to show you the syntax of each of these and how they play out in Python. Then you're going to have an activity where you are going to use each of those, and you're going to see what that means for your little text file that you downloaded. And then you're going to practice with getting error messages. Always important to get error messages when you are supposed to get them, so we can talk through why we got them. And you're going to learn how you can edit your file And then after that, you're going to take a quiz. This quiz is over what you have just accomplished here within Module 8. You do need to have Python shell open because within the quiz, it will prompt you to type things into shell, and then you will answer what you're seeing on your screen. And then at that point, we are done with Module 8. So congratulations, and move on to whatever's next.